Have you been looking into Amazon dropshipping? And I'm sure you have because you clicked on this video. But when you're doing so, I'm sure you've seen a lot of people sell Walmart and Home Depot onto Amazon. And if you're looking at these items and you're trying to find these items on Amazon, you'll realize that there's barely any money to be made. There's people that are selling at a loss. There's people that are selling at a very high loss. So what is there to do? What there is to do is to go find other suppliers. And that's exactly what this video is about. This video is about going out of your way to find suppliers that people aren't regularly using. And I call them obscure suppliers. And that's really my bread and butter in all of Amazon and eBay dropshipping nowadays. So Amazon, I mean, it's a great marketplace to get into. There is so much potential. But if you're getting stuck in this like little war down the dregs, just fighting for the last pennies or the scraps or these very, very, very low margins is not worthwhile. I can find 20% margins with some of my suppliers, and you can too. So this whole video is going to be about getting into it and really just finding your own suppliers. It's not as daunting as it seems, like this list does seem right here. It is quite a long list. So before we actually get into it, please be sure to subscribe to this channel or hit the like button. That's what the thumbs up was for. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. And when you do subscribe, please hit the bell notification. You will be notified of every single time I post a video out and like this. So let's get into it. Let's find you guys some suppliers today. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do it. And I'm going to show you, what I'm looking for on that specific supplier's website. So I'll see you inside my computer. We are inside of my computer, and before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And when you do subscribe, please hit the bell notification button, and also don't forget to smash that like button because we need to get this video out to everybody out there that's using the same old suppliers. So I want to ask you guys a question before we get started. Do you struggle with finding good suppliers or dropship suppliers for your store? It seems like a lot of people do. Please leave a comment down below what your biggest struggle is, and I'll try to, hopefully I answer in this video, but also I'll answer in the comments as well. So let's get into it. And here we are. So basically the requirements. I'm looking, what are my requirements for when I'm looking for a supplier? Then we're going to go into my computer further down and actually show you me looking through and trying to find one. So I want to make sure that they're repriced using, in and out of stock, repricing the prices with either Web Scraper app or SKU Grid. I only really use Web Scraper app right now for my Amazon store, but sometimes there are some suppliers that are out there that are only on SKU Grid, and I have set up SKU Grid onto Amazon. It does work, and it's pretty confusing, but that's going to be all taught inside of the Amazon dropshipping course that I am launching in about a month. So I want to make sure that they have fast shipping as well. So I want to make sure that the shipping, and not just the shipping, but also the handling. So I want the handling to be fast, and I want it to, be within 2 to 3 days. People do expect, regular shipping times on Amazon. I've come to see. And, I don't even think a lot of people realize that there's a difference between, Amazon fulfilled by merchant and Prime. So the quicker you can get to a Prime type shipping, the better. But, for a rule of thumb, you want to just make sure that it's no more than really 7 days, and you should be good. It's really not that big of a deal. Free shipping doesn't really matter because of the fact that a lot of these programs, Web Scraper app and SKU Grid included, will include the shipping into the price, and they'll do that for you. So it doesn't really matter if it's free shipping or not because of the fact that it'll price your item that way. And if you're drop shipping that item, everybody's drop shipping from the same supplier, then everybody's on the same even level playing field. I also do want to make sure that you can get tax exempt there. I love getting tax exempt at any supplier that I start using, and I usually try to get exempt before I start using them. And the one real way I figured it out, if you scroll down to the bottom of any website, sometimes they'll have like FAQs or a contact us page. So if they have a live chat, I'll hit up their live chat. If they don't have a live chat, then I'll call them. It's a little extra step, but a lot of people won't be doing this, and it's really going to help you become competitive on a lot of items because of the fact that you are not going to be paying tax for either all of the states or a majority of the states or whatever your tax filings are. So, I also like to ask, this is not a requirement as much per se. Sorry, my antivirus popped up. It's not 100% a requirement, but this is something that really, really, really helps is ask if they allow reselling of their items. You don't want them randomly canceling orders or, not shipping your items without telling you because of the fact that they found out you were reselling. Other things like that, you really just, if they do allow reselling, it's a lot better. And, there's no harm in asking. So if they have a live chat or just call them, just ask them, do you allow the reselling of your products? And then also ask if they allow reselling on third-party marketplaces, which basically means eBay or Amazon or anything like that. And also, last but not least, for the requirements, I really do look for hassle-free returns. I don't really care if there is a restocking fee or not. Sometimes there is, and you don't have to worry about it as much on Amazon because Amazon does actually allow you to not give them all of their money back or hold a restocking fee or whatever. Makes it a lot easier than eBay does. eBay is very strict on it. It's kind of a pain. I want to make sure I don't care about the restocking fee as much as I care about Are they going to make me take a picture or send them a picture? I've heard of some suppliers doing that. And, it really depends on what they're asking for in order to get the return. With Walmart, if you're doing Walmart onto Amazon, which I don't suggest, but they definitely do have the most hassle-free return where you just go, oh, return it, please. And then they give you a label. So those are the requirements. Now let's get into what I am personally looking for in a supplier. It's not just a requirement, but this is really what I lean towards, the eCom Tom personal requirements. And that is, I want to make sure it's a lesser known supplier. I don't want to be using Walmart or Home Depot. It's completely oversaturated. If you look at any Walmart item on Amazon, you'll realize that most people aren't even making money on the front end. There's so many items out there that are like -4%, -3%, and they're all just using sketchy cashback or discounted gift cards, and then pairing that with cashback websites and trying to make all their money on the back end. I think it's a lame technique, and I don't really want to be doing this and partaking in whatever wherever these gift cards are actually coming from. I want to make sure that they have a private label brand. That really helps you when finding or sniping other people's items. So if they have a brand like Mainstays for Walmart, it's really easy to find other people selling that item because you realize Mainstays is only sold on Walmart.com. So if it is on eBay or if it is on Amazon, then you know that somebody's dropshipping. There's no other way around it. I'm personally looking for higher ticket items. I really like higher ticket items. I like selling, if I could do 10 sales in a day at $200 each, that's $2,000. And it's a lot easier than doing a ton of sales at $15 products and whatnot. But I am starting to experiment nowadays with a supplier that has very good margins, but it is a lot of lower priced items. It is what it is, but I do like the higher ticket items, and it's just a lot less work for just the same amount of reward. I also want to make sure the items are well built, and sometimes it's hard to tell. But if you are looking at the supplier's website, say just Walmart, for instance, they have like the stars and how many ratings it's gotten and anything like that. So if you're looking at the star ratings and it's a 2.5 star rating and it has 1,000 reviews, then obviously that's an awful item. I would never list that item. So I want to make sure these items are well built. And that really just comes down to the fact that you don't want angry customers on Amazon even more than you don't want angry customers on eBay. So if you can mitigate any amount of risk possible out there to really try to make sure that you're not pissing anybody off, that's what you want to do. So, make sure they're well built, make sure they're not going to break. I don't want any like Chinese toys or things like that. I don't like that type of niche. I'm more of the business industrial type niche, anything like that. They're very well built items, and that's really what I like to sell. And also, I want to make sure the niche is with lower returns. So that also goes into, me getting business and industrial items out there. No business is just going to just buy all these random items because they don't need them, or like just because they're browsing or window shopping. Usually if a company has to buy something, they're buying it for a reason. They're not going to return it. They're not going to say, oh, I was drunk or I was tipsy and I just bought every size of this one dress and now I returned all the other sizes. I don't like dealing with returns. I don't want to deal with any of that stuff, and really, it's just not worthwhile to me. So I'm trying to find a niche that has lower returns. So now we're going to go inside of my computer, and then I'll bring you guys back to the conclusion after I show you guys kind of what I'm looking for in a supplier and how to find these things. So here we are looking at one of the suppliers that I just found. So I went into Web Scraper app, looked at their suppliers, and I had never heard of this one before, so I decided to click on it and just kind of see what it was. It seems interesting. It's called Grandin Road. It sells furniture and stuff like that. And it just seems like a pretty all-around decent supplier. So, let's look into it further. So what I did was, what you want to always do is just scroll down to the bottom. And really, you just want to start looking at all of these down here at the bottom. So number one thing that sticks out to me is that they got their number right there. So I always like making phone calls because it really does help out. But, if you don't want to make phone calls, they have the second best option, which is the live chat. It's also very convenient. So you can just type things in there, ask your question, and really that's all you need, because I love going on the live chat and then just berating them with questions. Like, do you have your own private label brands? Do you have your own, what's your shipping policy to tax exemption? Anything like that. And usually they'll answer everything. So, at that point, you might as well just be done and just ask them and go from there. But if you do want to do some of your own research, you can go down here, look at frequently asked questions, shipping and processing, other things like that. So in the FAQs, they pretty much have everything you need, so you can just read around about it. Check out their shipping policy. Here's their shipping policy. It says it should ship or be delivered within 3 to 7 business days. It's pretty good in my opinion. It's not the best, not the worst. So, kind of go from there. You can check out what their shipping prices are. They kind of have a price tier type shipping price, which I've seen some suppliers have. It's a little weird, but it is what it is. Easy to calculate. So from there, you can look into express shipping if you want to do any tricks and tips like that. Check if they have cash back. I didn't do that, but you can do that as well. Just type it into any cashback website. cashbackmonitor.com. And from there, I mean, you can just type in Grandin. Doesn't seem like there is one, but it could be somewhere. I mean, I'm not going to go too in depth on it. Then from there, if you want to figure out if they do have private label suppliers or anything like that, I mean, they do have catalogs, it says. Catalogs will usually show you everything inside of it, so you can look at the Grandin Road catalog and, kind of go through and see what they're all about. If they have their own brands, they might only sell their own brands for all I know. It seems kind of that way, but I'm not really too sure. So from there, you'd really just want to go and check, are people selling this on Amazon? Are they selling it, fulfilled by merchant? Are they selling it Prime? All of which I will be teaching inside of the course. So, I mean, that's just a quick, easy breakdown of a supplier. I mean, there's really only one way to figure out if they're a good supplier, and that's list their items on Amazon. But you want to do as much pre-research as possible to make sure that it is a viable supplier. Ask if they allow reselling to the live chat, things like that, because if they're strictly against it, then you can really nip it in the bud before it even starts so that you don't screw yourself over after, listing and testing some items and then screwing yourself over with your metrics or anything like that. So we're going to get back into my computer in the PowerPoint and check out the conclusion now. I'll see you there. So in conclusion, like I said before, you want to minimize risk as much as possible. There's no point in inherently putting yourself in danger if you can avoid it with, items that aren't good, items that get returned all the time, just anything like that, an item that could possibly break. You really just want to minimize that all off the bat. Or if you're just selling an item and you're not even making sure that they're the same item on your supplier and on Amazon, that's also a big issue. So you really want to pay attention to that. Now, also, fast shipping equals happy customers. That's a given. So the faster you can get them the item, you'll probably get more reviews that way. Like, I get reviews all the time. Like, I love Amazon Prime, and I'm not even selling Amazon Prime. So, I mean, people just really have no idea how Amazon actually works. They're just buying things, and that's it. Tax exemption is definitely going to set you apart from everybody else, and it's definitely very advantageous to get. So I highly suggest getting as many, tax license or IDs or anything that your supplier wants if you think that supplier is a good supplier. You can start listing that supplier first without actually being tax exempt. Just test them out, maybe make a few sales, see how it goes. But, in my opinion, I just get tax exempt right off the bat because I know a good supplier when I see one now. Also, you want to play it safe in the beginning. If you're just starting selling, you want to be as safe as possible. If you have a ton of sales every month, then you're allowed to take a few more risks. But in the beginning, you really want to play it as safe as possible and just don't. If you don't think it's a good item to list, then just don't even list it. It's not worthwhile, especially in the beginning when, any little mistake could really screw over your account. And lastly, do you guys have any other questions? Any questions to ask about, specific requirements you may have or other things that you think that I may have overlooked? Please ask them down below in the comment section. I answer every single comment on YouTube within a certain amount of time. So in conclusion, please post your questions below. Like I said, I'll answer all of them. Don't be afraid to ask any questions. No question is a stupid question, except for the ones that you don't ask. So if you found this video helpful, like I said before at the beginning of this video, please be sure to subscribe. And also, once you do subscribe, hit this nice little bell notification button down there, and you will be notified of every single masterpiece that I put out onto YouTube. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be putting out a lot more Amazon dropshipping videos as the time comes up, the lead up time to actually dropping the Amazon dropshipping course. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys very much, and I'll see you in the next one.